So this is the Xperia One. This is an iPhone 10. Look how much taller this is. It's insane. Hey, it's Chaim with The Verge, and we're here with Sony's new phones that they're announcing at MWC 2019. And this year, Sony is going tall. This is the Xperia One, which is Sony's new flagship. And the thing that's in common across all the phones that Sony's announcing this year is that they all have a 21:9 aspect ratio screen, which is just really, really tall. The idea is that you can fit more content on your screen than you ever could before, and it's just a really interesting approach, especially when you look at basically every other flagship, which has just been like bezels and notches. It's a different approach. Sony's announcing 3 phones at the show this year. There's the Xperia One, which is a flagship, and then there's the Xperia 10 and the Xperia 10 Plus. All 3 phones have the 21:9 screen. The Xperia 10 is a 6-inch phone, the Xperia 10 Plus is 6.5-inch, and while they're not quite as impressive as the Xperia One, the design's a little cheaper. It has a plastic back instead of glass, the specs are lower, Snapdragon 600 series processors. They're still impressive just from the sheer size of the screen. While we haven't actually been able to really play with the Xperia One, we have been able to use the Xperia 10 Plus, and you can really fit a lot of content on here. There's really no way to get around it. This is a really tall phone. I mean, I have pretty big hands, and reaching the top of the screen is still a bit of a stretch. Sony does have this cool one-handed mode where you can double tap the home button, and it literally just shrinks the display down into a smaller functional version. So it turns your big phone into like a little mini phone living on your big phone. You can adjust how big this preview goes. So if you want it really small, you can. If you got a little bigger hands, you can make it bigger. One of the things that Sony's really pushing with this is vertical multitasking, so you can have 2 things, not necessarily side by side, but top and bottom. And the screen is so tall, you can kind of just have like your directions up in the top corner of the map while you say text someone, or a YouTube video playing while you're actually doing work. The Xperia One has a 4K Oled Hdr display, which Sony says is the first for any smartphone. It's a 6.5-inch screen, and while there's no notch, again, it is this giant, tall, 21:9 display. It almost feels like you're holding a TV remote instead of a phone. Given that the Xperia One is Sony's new flagship, Sony is packing it with all the top specs. There's the new Snapdragon 855 processor, 6 GB of RAM, 128 GB of onboard storage, USB-C, it's water resistant. Sony's using a new triple camera on the Xperia One, which is the first time that Sony's put 3 cameras on one phone like this. There's a 26mm wide lens, a 52mm telephoto, and a 16mm super wide. It's a similar approach that we've seen from other manufacturers that have had multiple cameras to offer different kinds of lenses to get different shots, but we'll have to see how it works in practice before we can make any judgments. The Xperia One also does have a fingerprint sensor like Sony's previous phones. It is built into the power button on the side, which other phones that Sony had released up until the XZ3 didn't have, so again, good to see here. There is no in-display fingerprint sensor, which we have seen on some other flagships out of MWC this year, but we'll take what we can get. Sony's really putting out all the stops. They really want this to look and feel like a flagship phone among anything else in the market. There is some weird stuff though, because a lot of content just isn't mastered for a screen this tall. So YouTube videos, some of them are going to have black bars, and while Sony says that it is working with partners like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and games like Fortnite and Asphalt Racing to make sure that their content will look great on that phone, not everything might look outstanding when it does launch. There's still a lot of details about these phones that we don't know, and Sony will be releasing more at MWC and as we get closer to release. The Xperia One will be out sometime later this spring. The Xperia 10 and 10 Plus will be out on March 18th. Prices have yet to be announced, but they're tall. They're really tall. I can't emphasize this enough. And if you've been looking for a tall phone, this might be it.